Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Blake Garrison, and welcome to this week's review of Raging Justice, the simple story of three cops coming together to rid the streets of crime through the power of beating people up.
Okay, the initial idea might sound slightly cliched, but this project really did have some good talent behind it. It was created by Making Games, a self-explanatory title if I do say so myself, a company made up of former Rare developers trying to make their way in the indie scene.
So, really, that just raises the stakes. I should expect a good product from these developers. So, why don't we dive right in and see? And as you can see on my sideboard here, it shows the times for all the aspects I'll be going over today. So please feel free to skip to the section you care to see.
The playthrough was a fairly fun experience. However, I feel like a game in this day and age should have a few more ways to attack. I feel you're extremely limited with moves you can perform. All you really have is a light combo, a medium combo, a single hard hit that drains your health, a dash attack that works identically with each character, a jump attack, and a grab. Combining this with the fact that characters don't have any unique attacks or special moves, it can make the gameplay feel pretty monotonous after a few levels. And to be honest, monotony is kind of a problem overall. An example of this would be that the characters play exactly the same. Their animations may be different, and their stats may vary slightly, but I can honestly say I never noticed. Because of this, there is no incentive to play each of the characters, eliminating some replay value. Another example is the weapons through the stages. Yeah, there may be a lot of them, but the properties all cause the same outcome. Throwing items doesn't change much, and blunt objects all have the same hitting animation. A satisfying feeling at first, but once you swing the bat, the sword, and the knife, you'll quickly catch on that it doesn't do anything new. Saying this, I have to commend the game's enemy placement and design. Yes, it does get annoying when the screen is flooding with enemies, but the choices of the enemy attacks play off each other well. The most basic example is when you have the default man thug paired with the default girl thug. Whereas the man can be taken down with simple jumping attacks, the woman directly counterattacks you when you try this. The only time this can be a bad thing is when your foes start juggling you. Sometimes, I swear you have no choice but to be hit once you've been knocked down. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad. The graphics have an appealing style choice that closely resembles several classic beat-em-up games. A smart decision when considering budget, and they managed to pull it off very well. The colors show a lot of detail, and it keeps it from looking muddy or depressing. As for the enemies, most of them look exactly the same, but I feel they do this more to show you what kind of enemy it is and how it attacks. When it comes to more unique enemies like bosses, they seem to have a more independent style from the rest, which is always good to build up atmosphere of the game. There isn't much to say about the music. There wasn't anything I would recommend. It's mostly pretty forgettable. Most stages have very simple songs comprised really just of drum beats. However, I don't really know if they were going for an epic soundtrack. From the looks of it, these pieces were intended to be nothing more than background, to focus on the action. And for that, I guess it does the job, but for me at least, I won't be listening to it again anytime soon. The game has a simple but fun control scheme. I mean, the worst thing I believe a beat-em-up can do is have an unsatisfying punch. But luckily, this game shines in that department. Each hit feels responsive and solid, making each attack all the more satisfying. The only large problem I've had comes when trying to input a dash attack. You're meant to tap twice in a single direction to activate this maneuver, but I swear sometimes it's just not coming out. And really, the only other complaint I have is the fact that there are so many unused buttons. I complained earlier there were not enough attacks, and this only further complements it. There is really no reason they couldn't have had more. There was plenty of room to work with.
Overall, Raging Justice is a pretty average beat-em-up game. It just doesn't really do anything outstanding enough to catch my eye.
I do believe this game will please some with its art style and decent gameplay, and I'm sure if I was a little younger, I would have enjoyed it more. However, right now, I believe this game deserves a 6 out of 10.
There is fun to be had in small increments, it just doesn't do enough to wow me. If this game was truly meant to be nothing more than a homage to classic beat-em-up games, then perhaps it did its job a little too well. I'm Blake Garrison, and thank you for watching. Until next time.